what's up guys? Joker here. Today I'm going to be walking you through my ultimate vlogging setup for 2016. I'm going to be going over some of the gear that I use and also a few tips and tricks that I like to use to get the best vlogging quality, at least, for 2016. It's still going to be up to you to come up with the original content and be, appealing on camera. People are going to have to want to like you. Good gear can only get you so far, but hopefully this video will help you get off and running, with some decent gear here for 2016 and posting good quality videos and in 4K as well. And some of this gear, obviously you can use it on other cameras as well, but the camera I'm using, the Lumix G7, is a 4K camera, and it's also a pretty damn affordable 4K camera as well. As far as 4K camera goes, this one's really affordable. You can get the bodies for like around $500. So we're going to talk about all of that, but let's get into it. Okay, so first tip is going to be kind of a weird one. It's sunglasses, and you might be asking me, why would I need to wear sunglasses to do a vlog? Well, if you're outside, it does make sense to wear sunglasses, but there are also advantages to wearing sunglasses. For instance, right now, I am looking at the screen completely. I am entirely looking at the screen, watching myself back right now, which means I don't have to look at the lens, which means I could worry more about framing and being in the shot and making sure that my shot looks as good as it possibly can. And all the while, the audience doesn't have to be wise to the fact that I am looking directly at my selfie screen that flips out on the side of the G7 or whatever Canon or other camera that you happen to be using out there. It's just going to be a lot better, because if you keep glancing over at the screen, which we all do from time to time, even if we're trying not to, it's just going to help a lot better, and it makes you look kind of cool, if I could be honest. But it also, just like I said, has that effect that you can look over there and make sure that you're in your shot well. Like I just checked right here to make sure that I was in the shot and everything is lined up perfectly. Next, the backup camera. I cannot tell you how incredibly useful it is to have a secondary camera, even if it's just your smartphone like the OnePlus X that I have right here. You could use this to get some really professional segues or transitions using things like time-lapse functionality, or if you just want to get a side shot of yourself on camera so that you could just throw that into the footage just to make it look a little bit more professional when you are doing your vlogs. You could also use it to set up things like a third-person perspective shot of you walking by, just to give it that extra, professionalism that I'm really trying to go for here, to take it the next step up from just being an ordinary vlog of someone talking into a camera and really trying to tell a story and show people a professional video, and just getting away from that thing of just talking into my phone here and telling you about my day. As far as my tripod is concerned, I did try a few options here as well, and the best solution that I found for me, at least, was going with the Joby Focus Gorilla Pod. It's the best built one that they make. It's aluminum. You can mount it pretty much anywhere, and it's also great for handheld stuff, which can help me stabilize my shots. I'm holding it right now in my hands, and it helps me to be able to stabilize the shots a little bit better than if I was to be holding the camera by itself. And if I do need a solution where I want to either put it on a table or mount it in a tree or something like that, then I could just pretty much go ahead and put this anywhere, which makes it a really good solution. And this one also came bundled with a ball head, which is great because it means that I can level out my shots on top of the tripod without having to adjust the legs or anything like that where I'm mounting it, so that I can just move the ball head to make sure that my camera is as level as possible to make sure my shot's looking good. Okay, next up is audio, and I've talked about this before in guides where I've talked about making YouTube videos, is that audio is infinitely more important than your video quality. And I'm not saying video quality isn't important, because it is, but as long as you have good audio, you're going to be able to at least keep audiences interested, as long as your storytelling in the video itself is actually interesting. But if people come in and you have really bad audio right away, then I'm telling you, people are going to click off and they're not going to stay tuned in, and they're not going to subscribe. So it's important that you nail that stuff early on in your channel's existence and just get that off the ground and running. I'm choosing to use the Rode VideoMic Pro, as I found that to be the best hands-free wireless solution. You could go other avenues like with a lavalier or a handheld microphone, but if you really want to have the best control, this is what I have found to be the best solution. And I didn't come to this decision lightly. I've tried other audio solutions in the Audio-Technica ATR 2100, which is a handheld mic, but it was just too cumbersome for me, having the wires going to a Zoom H4n and all that other stuff around. And I just wanted to be focused on getting more information on the camera and capturing content. That's really what it's all about with the vlog, is capturing content and getting yourself on camera. And if I'm sitting here and I'm fumbling around with gear, worrying about that, then I'm not going to be on camera and delivering more content. So whatever I could do to free up my hands and make it so that I could deliver more content and better content is always going to be the best thing, I feel, for myself as well as the audience. So the Rode VideoMic Pro is what I landed on as the best audio solution for me. They also have the Rode VideoMic Go, which is cheaper. It does have some drawbacks, though, as it's not battery powered, so it delivers a little bit more background noise compared to the VideoMic Pro, so that's why I went with this one. It's a little bit more expensive, it's not cheap, but it really was the best solution that I could find like this. So I decided to finish up today's video back in the studio because that's where it all ends for me. Whether I'm filming inside or outside, vlogging or doing product reviews, it all ends right here back at my computer so that I can edit things together. And for all of you, when you're putting your videos together, it's going to end for you the exact same way in your editing software, and that's really where you get to work your magic. And when you are out there filming your shots and capturing your audio and telling your story of whatever you're working on, whether it's a vlog, a product review, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You should have the editing in mind when you're out there working, and when you get back to your computer, that's going to make things a lot easier. And when you are editing, then you can really work your magic and get the most out of the footage that you captured and put it together in your artistic way and work your vision the way that you really hopefully had envisioned it from the start. And that's why I also decided to leave video equipment to very last in this video, is because video equipment as far as cameras and lenses really falls to the wayside in comparison to everything else that we discussed here today. Editing, audio, setting up your shots, having a story to tell, personality on camera, all of that stuff is infinitely more important compared to your video camera quality from your lenses and the actual camera itself. If you were out there filming on an iPhone, it's perfectly fine as long as you know what to do with it afterwards and you can actually edit things together. I can't tell you how many people that I've seen on YouTube who have gone out there way too early on and actually overspent on camera equipment. They just go out and they overspend on camera equipment when they don't actually have the knowledge or even the desire to learn how to use that camera equipment. And when you're spending money on equipment, whether it's audio or video, it really doesn't matter, is realize that the investment that you're making in it is not only the financial one, but it is the one of your time. Because if you are buying something that you do not know how to use, especially an advanced piece of gear like a DSLR or mirrorless camera with high-end equipment, you're going to have to learn how to use it. Otherwise, you're just going to be turning out, crap that was shot on really expensive equipment, and then you're just going to have a big dent in your bank account, and you're going to be browsing the internet wondering why the hell you can't make videos, and you just got over $1,000 in equipment sitting on a shelf. So for my camera, I am using the Panasonic Lumix G7, which is an amazing 4K camera. It's fairly new to the market. It came out in around the last year or so. It is a micro four thirds camera, which does limit it as far as lens selection goes, but the big advantage that it has is that it can do 4K natively right inside the camera, and you can do it all for about $500 for the body alone. Lenses are going to be a little bit more pricey. I wound up picking up the Panasonic 12-35 f2.8, which is a fantastic zoom lens, but it's pricey. You're going to find these brand new in the States are going to be around $1,000. Luckily, I went on eBay because if you look around and you shop used or shop on eBay, you can find good deals, and that's how I got this used on eBay from Japan for $500, and I didn't have, I don't have any concerns about doing that. I do it all the time. I know a lot of people will have concerns about spending so much money on buying something overseas. Well, sometimes you got to take a little bit of a risk, and it works out for me more often than not, actually all the times. It's never not worked out for me ordering from overseas. And you save a ton of money that way. And that's how I got this almost near $1,000 lens for $500, and they sell brand new from Japan for $600. The only downside is it doesn't have a warranty. You don't get a warranty, but as long as you get it and it's good initially and you take care of your shit, then it shouldn't be a problem. These things are usually made to last, and they're made extremely well, so I don't have any qualms about buying used or buying from overseas personally. But the camera body itself you can get with the kit lens. This is the 14 to 42 millimeter that it comes with. It is pretty damn good, actually. It's a really sharp lens, but it's very limited. If you're going to be zooming in and changing your focal length a lot, it's going to change the aperture that you can work at because it doesn't have a constant aperture through the full focal range when you are zooming in, which means when you're zoomed further in, that you get less light into the lens. That's why you go out and you spend a lot of money on a lens like this, because then you have an aperture of f2.8, which means you get the same amount of light in your lens, whether you're zoomed all the way in or you're zoomed all the way out. Another way you could go is with a prime lens. A really good option is actually the Panasonic 14mm f2.5. It's a prime lens. You can find them used for around 150 bucks. What's really good about this is it's 14mm, so it's going to be pretty wide. It should be about the perfect focal length for you to actually hold it right in front of yourself on like a selfie stick or a Joby GorillaPod if you're going to be using that. And it's never going to change though. You won't be able to zoom in or out. So know that it's a prime lens. It doesn't zoom in or out. It's always 14mm. But at that 14mm, it's sharp as a tack. It goes all the way down to f2.5, which means it'll shoot pretty damn well in low light. You'll be able to get some good depth of field or bokeh on your shots. So it'll be a damn good lens. And like I said, you can pick those up used for around $150. Brand new, they're around $250 to $300 depending on where you shop. I usually go to Amazon if I'm buying new stuff. If I'm buying used, I try to go through eBay or wherever I can really get the best deal. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this guide for how to vlog like a pro in 2016. And let me know down in the comments below if anything here helped you, if you're picking up any gear, what gear you're already working with, and maybe you're just buying one or two things to, help modify and improve your current setup, because hopefully that's what you're doing. I mean, I don't expect someone to go out and spend, $2,000-$3,000 on everything I showed in this video. I don't even know how much it all adds up to, but I'm sure it's expensive. It's a lot of money. And I don't expect everyone to go out and buy everything here, but maybe you just bought the Joby GorillaPod or you just bought the VideoMic Pro, and that gave you a huge bump up in quality, which it does have the effect of doing. Just making one or two of those little changes to your setup can be all the difference to just, make it a complete home run of a setup. Whether you're doing 4K or not is, inconsequential at the end of the day, as long as you're good on camera and people want to see what you're talking about and you can tell a good story. I think I've said that about 50 million times in this video because it's still true. But I'm going to catch you guys next time. Ta-ra.